Good morning, children. Today I want to discuss with you motion of the earth. What is the objectives of this lesson? The objectives, it means what you will learn from this lesson. You will learn in this lesson rotation, the earth rotation through the globe activities, north pole, south pole, axis, northern hemisphere, equator, southern hemisphere, incline axis, day and night activities, sunset, sunrise activity, day, revolution of the earth, year and leap year. These are the topics which you will study from this lesson. Now exact you see that children already I have discussed with you that is motions of the earth in the solar system. You know that motions of the earth, there are the two motions of the earth, revolution and the rotation. And what is mean the earth? About the earth is also already you discussed in the first lesson. Now see that exact what is mean by motion. That is very important. Really, that motion is the topic of the physics that I want to discuss with you. Because when you will go in the higher standard, you will study the separate topic on the motion. But here I want to discuss how can you define the motion. Motion, it means that change of the position of an object with time and surrounding. That is a motion. Motion, earth is in the motion and sun is in the rest position. It means what? Any object when change its position along with time and surrounding, that time we can say that object is in the motion. Otherwise, that object is at rest. Now we come to the point our lesson is there. You know that the earth has the two primary motions are there. That are revolution and the earth. And these two motions playing a very important role because that two motions responsible for the life cycle of all the living things on the earth, and that's why we have to more concentrate, more study about the motions of the earth. Now we see that what is the rotation. Already you had studied in the solar system rotation. It means that heavenly bodies revolve around themselves. That is called as rotation. What we will learn from here exact, that is a different. Yes, here we will study something different. Rotation, it means that objects rotate around themselves. That motion is called as a rotation. But while the rotation it occurs, that time the axis is formed. Again the questions will arise, sir, what is the axis? Axis, it means that is the imaginary line is formed. How it looks, that imaginary line? The imaginary line, have you play the top? Supposed to be when we play the top, that time you see that one imaginary line, one axis is formed, and that axis is very very important, and you have to understand that axis. Any objects when rotate around that axis, it is called as the rotation of that object. Now see that imaginary axis is playing a very important role in these lessons. Now again we understand what happens with that axis. Now we see that Earth's rotation. What is meant by earth rotation? Now we will understand again through one activity, that globe activity. That now you see the globe activity. I think all you know about the globe. When we see the globe first, have you observed the globe? What you will see on the globe? What you will see on the globe? On the globe, see that so many things you will see on the globe. That on the globe, first you will see that is a N and that is a yes. N means that is a north pole and yes means south pole. That and this N and yes, this is joined by one line, and that is called as the axis. You know, this axis actually it is an imaginary line. Exact on the earth there is no any line, and this axis passes through the center of the earth, through north pole and through the south pole. Again one line you see that is a equator, and that equator it goes through the zero latitude, 0 degree of the latitude, and that is also imaginary line. Due to the equator, earth is divided into two parts. That is above the equator north side portion, it is called as the northern hemisphere, and that is below the earth, that is a south side, that is a yes side, that portion is called as the southern hemisphere. Now see that northern hemisphere, that is on the earth many countries are there. India is also comes under the, that is a northern hemisphere. You know, Europe it comes, that is the America, North America it comes, that is some parts of the Asia parts, and you know that some parts of the Africa. So many countries are there in the northern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere, that is mostly, that is you know, oceans are there, and many countries also it comes there. This is, it will not be asked the which countries it comes, but this is additional I'm saying that. And what is the equator? You know that you might have heard that equator, it is a, whatever the equator sides, the area it is there, nations, countries are there, that countries it has very hot countries are there. And the equator it goes, that is Uganda, Kenya, Brazil, Colombia. Through these countries, the equator it goes that. Now you have got the information about the globe that. Now you see that this globe it is a image of the earth that. Now you see that that globe it rotates, and when it rotates that we see that. And what you will understand from this activity, you have to take one thread, and that thread, one end of the thread you have to tie one plum it is there, and if you don't find any plum you can take other things also, any eraser you tie it that. And this thread, that is you have to be keep, that is close to the globe that. Now you are seeing in the picture there, diagrams are there. You see this is a line, this is a thread line, and this is the axis. This axis and this line it forms the angle, and that angle is called as the inclination angle, and that is at 23.5 degrees. This is angle. And to understand the inclination of the earth axis, we are doing this activity. The questions will arise, sir, what happens that inclination of the earth axis due to the, what happens, you know, inclinations of the earth axis and the revolution of the earth on the earth, seasons, that is a found it, that means the seasons, we see the seasons on the earth that are forms due to the revolution and inclination axis of the earth. So the seasons are formed, that you have to understand that. You know that earth always it rotates from the west to east side, and earth revolve around the sun east to west. That things also you have to understand. In this way, what is the inclination of the earth, how it forms through this activity, I think you have to understand that. Because the why this inclination it forms that, that is a inclination, it means that is a earth little bit tilted, one side tilt its side, and that's why it forms that. This is the inclination of the earth. Now let's we see another point. Next we see that how the day and night occurs on the earth, how the year occurs, how the seasons, that everything we will see through this activity. Now suppose to be you take one large table, on that table, in the middle of that table you have to install one, that is put place one the candle, and you feel that candle is the sun is there, and through that candle you make one circle is there, and that circle, you know that that is a circle, it means that this is a orbit of the earth is there. And now you put the one globe, you take it on the circle is there. Now this activity you will have to do in the dark room, that no light should be there. And you see that when the candle we light it that, and the candle light it will fall on the globe. Now I shown here that one side, that is one part of the globe, it will be in the light, and other side of the part globe it is the dark, means that which side it is the dark, that is the night, and which side it is their day light, it is, that is a day. It means what, that when the earth revolve it's there, when the earth it, that is a rotate that itself, That time on the earth, different parts it comes in front of the light, and that parts in a day and other parts it is the night. In this way, due to the rotation of the earth on the on the earth, due to the rotation of the earth, one side the day and other side the night, it means the day and night occurs on the earth due to the rotation of the earth. That thing you have to understand. Now you see that exact what is meant by day. For that understanding we have to do other activity. That supposed to be on the globe, you have to make one mark, and that mark, it means that you stick or mark any, that is a small mark on, put any, stick anything. And now you supposed to be that mark is the location is there, supposed to be here the sunrise is there. Now earth it is rotating. If I ask you questions, next supposed to be that when I make the mark there, the location, that the time it was sunrise it is there. And if I ask you that second sunrise when it will come, that time you will say when the when earth it completes the one rotation, then the second sunrise it will come. It means that when earth completes one rotation, and that is called as the day. And you know that day it has the, mostly the day has the two parts, night parts and the day parts. But for measuring purpose we have divided the day in the 24 parts, and that is the 24 hours, and one part it is the 1 hour. In this way on the earth day and night occurs, and the day is divided into time, and in this way we have got the time is also there, hour is also there. Now see second thing, how the years occurs on the earth. See that this globe is on the orbit, and you make the one that is a mark here, that supposed to be globe here. And when second time, that when how much time it will take, again the globe it comes on that point. It means that revolution of the earth, when the earth revolve around the sun, when it completes one, that is a circle, that is called as a 1 year. And for that the earth takes 365 days 6 hours to complete one revolution. It means in the 1 year 365 days 6 hours. And in this way, due to the earth revolution, that is a seasons form, and due to the earth rotation days form, that is a day and night forms. That thing you have to understand. Second thing you will study that exact, in the year 365 days and 6 hours. But what is a leap year? That I want to make you understand. Children, you know that generally we see our calendar. In the calendar, how many that is a, it is shown that in the calendar it shows that Gregorian calendar it is a 365 days only there. It means that in the calendar the 6 hours, whatever that every year it is a 6 hours, they don't count that 6 hours. In this way, after 4 years, that 6 hour it becomes the one day, that is a 24 hours, and that one day it is added in the February month. Every 4 years, if you see that February it is a 29 days that there, and 29 days it means the one day extra it is added in that year. It means that year it becomes, that is a, it comes, that is a, it becomes a 366 days, means the 366 days, and instead of the 365 days, means leap year it is a 360 days, and that year it is called as a leap year. Every 4 years leap year it comes. In this way you have to understood revolution, rotation, and all the earth, that is whatever the axis is there, equator is there, you know that, and hemisphere, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, north pole, south pole, and what is the importance of the inclinations of the earth, that also you have to study it. Leap year you have to study it. Now here I want to stop here. Have a great day. May God bless you. Thank you.